sentenced Mariam Sanda to death by hanging until she dies.
And that was just the moment Mariam Sanda was sentenced to death. It might interest you to know that the President of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had just granted presidential pardon and clemency to about 175 inmates or prisoners, if you will. For those of us who don't know what presidential pardon is, it simply means that the Nigerian president has set some prisoners free and also reduced the prison sentence of some others. And this has really got a whole lot of Nigerians talking. It has caused them to fume at the president's decision, despite they know that the Nigerian constitution empowered the president to give presidential pardon or clemency to any president of his choice. But they expect such power should be used in the interest of fairness and justice. Presidential pardon does not consider the victims or the victim's family, how they are going to feel. That is why a whole lot of people are fuming at it, and most especially when there's not going to be any form of compensations for them. Out of the 175 beneficiaries of this presidential pardon, just 6 of them are the ones that are not really sitting well with the Nigerians. And I'm going to start mentioning them to you right away. Starting from this woman here, her name is Mariam Sanda. She was sentenced to death by hanging for stabbing her husband, Bilaminu Bello, to death on the 19th of November 2017. For those of us who don't remember how the incident happened back then, and those that have not heard of the story before, let me quickly take you through it. On the 19th of November 2017, the husband, Bilaminu Bello, was at home with his friend taking shisha. While they were doing that, the wife suddenly interrupted them and started accusing the man of cheating on her with other women, and she claimed to have seen a female nude picture in her husband's phone. The husband quickly took her upstairs and tried to defend himself, telling her that he was not doing all of that, and the woman didn't believe her. She started raising her voice, and she started threatening that she was going to stab her husband to death if he does not give her a divorce. While the husband's friend downstairs was hearing all their conversation, and he had to go upstairs to try to calm them down, and that was what he eventually did. And he left, only to hear that his own friend, Bilaminu Bello, has been stabbed to death by his wife. She was then arrested and taken to court. During the trial, she never admitted committing a crime. Her own side of the story was that her husband fell on top of the shisha pot and it got broken and injured the husband so badly to the extent that he bled to death. The court didn't buy her own side of the story, and the crime scene has already been tampered with. Coupled with the fact that the husband's friend testified in court that earlier that day she had threatened the husband that she was going to stab her husband to death if he does not give her a divorce. So the court believed that that was what eventually played out. So the trial took more than 2 years in court before she was eventually sentenced to death by hanging on the 27th of January 2020. So as I'm making this video right now, she's now a free woman. She's one of the beneficiaries of the presidential pardon. So the public are really talking about this, and they are not actually happy with it. Even the family of the husband, they are really fuming at the decision of the president. And then followed by this man you are seeing his picture on the screen right now. His name is Mr. Kevin Ibruwe Onera. He's a 44-year-old man from Kokori community in Etiop local government area of Delta State, that's southern part of Nigeria. He was convicted and sentenced to 20 years imprisonment for kidnapping and robbery. According to reports, he was accused of kidnapping a popular human rights lawyer, Mr. Michael Zekome, on the 25th of September 2013. According to that operation, 4 policemen were killed, and him and his gang collected a ransom of 40 million naira. He was also accused of kidnapping a former deputy governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chudi Unwike, on the 19th of March 2023. The man later died in captivity. He was also accused of kidnapping a former commissioner of higher education, Mr. Hope Igaga, on sometime in September 2012. These and other cases are what they put together to convict him and later sentence him to 20 years imprisonment. But now the presidential clemency has reduced that 20 years jail term to 13 years. So that 13 years will be dated back to 2013 when he was arrested. For 2013 to 2026 will make it 13 years instead of 2033 that he is supposed to be out. So next year, 2026, he will become a free man again, and the public is really fuming about it. His people, his community are seeing the whole thing differently because they believe that he's the environmental activist and one of their leaders. He was once the leader of the youth and also the leader of liberation movement of Urobo people in Delta State. He has so many times begged the government to implement policies that would benefit his own community. So when the news broke out that he was granted clemency, they all celebrated and jubilated. So with all of this, you can see that the government was seeing him as a criminal, while his own people are seeing him as a living hero. And now, followed by Mr. Unwike Francis Chibueze, and he's 44 years old. So on the 14th of May 2009, he was caught with 1.4 kilograms of substance at Muritala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos while he was trying to export them to Holland. He was then arrested and taken to court. During his trial, he pleaded not guilty, but after some time, he changed his plea to guilty. So following his guilty plea, he was then sentenced to life imprisonment. So sometime in 2020, the Supreme Court of Appeal had his case again, but his life sentence stood. So, but now as I'm making this video, he's now a free man, and the public is filming at it because he's not actually going down with them.